Imagine a business model where your customer is the government, your product is mandatory. And the more dangerous the world becomes, the richer you get. Welcome to the military-industrial complex. Most people think wars are fought for freedom, or religion, or territory. But if you follow the money, you will find a different story. Wars are fought because they are profitable. In this video, we are going to look at the companies that treat war as a stock market ticker. We will focus on the biggest of them all, Lockheed Martin. And we will explain why, for some people, world peace is a financial disaster. To understand this, we have to go back to January 17, 1961. President Dwight D. Eisenhower was leaving office. He was a five-star general. He led the Allies in World War II. He knew war better than anyone, but in his farewell speech, he gave a terrifying warning. He said, "In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence by the military-industrial complex." He meant that if the companies making weapons become too powerful, they will start creating wars just to sell more weapons. 60 years later, his nightmare has come true. Lockheed Martin is the world's largest defense contractor. Their revenue is almost entirely from the US government. Basically, your tax dollars are their revenue. Let's look at their masterpiece. The F-35 Lightning II. It is the most expensive weapon system in human history. The total cost of the program is estimated to be $1.7 trillion. That is more than the GDP of Russia. That is enough money to end homelessness in America 10 times over. But here is the hidden logic. The F-35 had hundreds of problems. It was over budget. It was late. In a normal free market, if you sell a broken product, you go bankrupt. But Lockheed Martin did not go bankrupt. They got more money. Why? Because they designed the supply chain brilliantly. They built parts of the F-35 in 48 different US states. This meant that if a senator voted to cancel the F-35, he was voting to fire workers in his own state. The F-35 became too big to kill. It wasn't just a plane. It was a political hostage situation. This creates a system called the revolving door. Generals retire from the army and go to work for the boards of defense companies. Politicians leave Congress and become lobbyists for Raytheon or Boeing. They all have the same incentive: keep the budget high, keep the fear alive. When the war in Afghanistan ended in 2021, defense stocks dropped. But then the war in Ukraine started. Lockheed Martin stock skyrocketed. Then tensions rose in Taiwan. The stock went higher. Then conflict erupted in the Middle East. The stock hit an all-time high. Do you see the pattern? Every time you see a tragedy on the news, someone on Wall Street opens a bottle of champagne. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a business model. These companies spend millions of dollars lobbying politicians to approve more defense spending. They fund think tanks that write reports saying China is a threat or Russia is coming. They create the narrative that justifies their existence. But we must be fair. The world is a dangerous place. We need defense. We need jets. Without Lockheed Martin, the US could not protect the petrodollar system we talked about in the last video. Without military power, trade routes close and economies collapse. But there is a fine line between defense and profiteering. When the profit motive is attached to death, the incentive structure of humanity gets corrupted. We have built an economy that is addicted to conflict. If peace broke out tomorrow, the stock market would crash. So we have covered the industry of death. But what about the industry of life? There is another sector that is even more profitable than war. A sector that relies on you being sick. Just like Lockheed relies on the world being at war. They don't sell missiles, they sell pills. And they have the power to shut down the entire world economy, as we saw in 2020. In our next video, we are going to diagnose the pharmaceutical industry. We will look at Pfizer and the economics of health. Get ready for Big Pharma. See you in the Pfizer video.